great first talk with him. And
Yeah.
I just wonder how he's fitting in. And obviously, he feels like it sounds like he's been here a while.
Well, I'll have to watch the interview in its entirety because I was talking to Alex over there. But yeah, Freddie's a humble guy, nice guy. He's going to fit in great. I mean, who doesn't like a guy who's does everything for the team, help the players, help the coaches. He's got experience. I mean, what's not to like?
Yesterday you mentioned your evening plans of a glass of red wine and watching the story unfold. What was your reaction to finally seeing that come to fruition?
Well, I thought it was a good storyline. I love the fact that they exchanged jerseys after the game. Christian didn't get a chance to impact the game as much. Maybe, Greg's got a certain pattern of subs. Alex has a left back. I'm not so sure about that I would do that. Plenty of good storylines with the Roldan family there. But kind of off topic, I thought Clint did a great job again. I watched the pregame, postgame. I thought he was really good. I liked that part of it. That's a former Sounder that's doing well. So, all in all, I had a good evening. Other than I wish we could have, maybe got snuck a goal. But, that's CONCACAF, and that place is a hard place to play. We know because Tommy Dutra and I were texting because I don't have a good memory. We actually played in that stadium years ago in a Champions League game, and Roger Levesque in the yellow. Ari would remember this. In our neon yellow jerseys, Roger scored a header at the end to beat Metapon, I think.
Sounds right.
Okay. All right. Well, one of these two should know. But me and Tommy were texting back and forth because that stadium held a little bit of history for the Sounders as well. But I enjoyed Clint's commentary. I thought it was good.
Ryan, I'm going to assert, just from what Freddie said, that it's important for you to always reach out to assistant coaches and head coaches. Can you just talk about why that's important to you?
Well, reaching out or just being friendly and having conversations, Maz?
I would say, let's say being friendly and being available. Because he said he texted you.
I would say maybe I learned that from Zig. So I haven't told this story in a while. And I like bringing Zig up every now and again. He was a good mentor to me. And so when I was coaching the USL team, I knew who he was, but he probably knew who I was, but we weren't friends. And we were going down to a tryout, a MLS combine or something, and I, got Ziggy's contact information. I said, hey, Zig, Brian Schmetzer, Brian. And I go, hey, can we sit down and have a, just chat? I want to talk to you about stuff, how you handle players, big players, stuff like that. And Ziggy sat down with me at a Starbucks and spent over an hour with me as a USL coach, and he was coaching, I think, the Galaxy at the time. And I thought that was great. It was a good moment for me. And so maybe I'm trying to repay that kindness. Maybe I'm just a nice guy. Maybe I just like to talk soccer. I mean, I don't know. It's probably a combination of all those things. But I got that lesson from Zig.
What do you want to accomplish this week, Brian, in terms of changing things or working on things? Is there anything specific you want to get done this week?
Just fitness for this group. The guys that are off playing, they'll be taken care of. But I need to make sure that this team, this group, stays sharp. So it's more physical, a little bit more individual development. So we'll work on some of the individual stuff to make them just better soccer players in general, because you can't really work on tactics with half your team missing. So that's about it.
Do you think it's a good time in the season for the team to have a little break to recharge, or would you rather maybe have games to maintain their sharpness like that?
Ari, I think it's always good during these international breaks, whether it's this one or in October. We've done this throughout the year, sometimes even earlier. We've had breaks for different reasons. I always like the fact that the team gets a little bit of a break. Some players do, prior to heading into the last stretch of games, regular season and playoffs. I always think that's important mentally. Get them, we'll give them a couple days rest after 3 hard training days. We'll push them for 3 days, give them 2 days off, so they can just mentally shut down. I always think that's good.
A
few weeks ago, you mentioned the job search for the two assistants. You wanted one would probably be faster than the other. Freddy fills in some of the check boxes. Bilingual, has worked with youth players in that kind of that progression. Does that change who and what you're looking for that second coaching spot and the timeline for it?
No, timeline will stay the same. If there's a qualified candidate out there, we take it that's available. Okay, the timeline will be, we're still looking. As far as, attributes of certain individuals and how and what I'd like to have on my staff, I mean, we'll see how Freddie goes. I do want someone that, maybe has some experience, maybe can jump in training sessions, good personality, outgoing personality, connects with players. I mean, we'll see, Dave. I mean, basically, I want another hardworking, humble, competent coach is what I want. I'm not going to put any labels as this is the type of guy I want.
Is it important to you to find assistant coaches who can progress and step to a next point in their career? Is that a point of pride to you to see that you have a coaching team now?
I'd pump the brakes on that one, Dave. I mean, I'm only 59. I've only been a head coach for a little bit, so let's pump the brakes on that storyline. I just want good, honest, hardworking people that fit the Sounder culture. That's what I want. If they happen to go on and do greater things, better things in their career, that's icing on the cake. But I'm focused on what's happening here and making sure that we as an organization hire the right people that can help us win games and championships.
Brian, in your young coaching career, has the way the relationship with assistant coaches kind of evolved from when you first started?
No, probably not. I mean, I was really friendly with, Jimmy Gabriel, who helped me in the USL days. Darren Sawatsky's a great guy, absolutely great guy, doing a good job at Richmond. Tommy was with me in the USL days. Dickie McCormick was there for a little bit. Bernardo Rees, some guys that just helped on a volunteer basis. I've always been friendly with them, always tried to help wherever I can. I think there's a good soccer community here in the state of Washington. I think maybe it's not a tree, Dave. I think it's just a collective. I mean, the soccer community is pretty tight. It goes back to the early days in the 70s with the fans still remembering, Memorial Stadium, the opening of the Kingdom. It's all the guys, Billy Crook, Neil Megson, Chance Fry, who am I missing? Dave Gillett staying here, Pepe Fernandez. I mean, it's kind of like a living organism, the Sounder family that we have. That's what I'd probably say. And I'm Alan Hinton. I mean, he brings people out here. I mean, I would say it's organizationally the soccer community.
Brian, what about, I guess what I was asking is in terms of their input on the X's and O's.
Oh.
Because I mean,
Well, I mean, look, over the years, Maz, yeah, I have set ideas. I am German. I can be stubborn. I have set ideas that I lay out at the beginning of the year. Okay, this is what I want to accomplish. And then, yes, I give them autonomy to, the ideas that we come up with. They're the ones that do the hard work, and they're the ones that execute some of those ideas. So in that sense, yes. Back then, I did a lot of it myself. But now, when you have qualified people, I know my strengths. And if someone's better on the field, let them be on the field.
Quickly going back to last night's game, there was a play late in the game where there was a 50-50 ball where Alex and Christian are fighting for it.
Oh, yeah.
And there was a foul call. What did you make of that play? What was your initial?
Well, just that two brothers are, not going to give an inch. I mean, again, I just thought it's a good storyline. Alex has had a great year. And for him to play against his brother, Christian, he's had a good year. I think he's fully, embedded himself in the national team pitcher, maybe not as a starter, but as a sub that can come on and change outcome of games. So for those two guys to be on the field together, I just think it's great.
Alex has taken on a pretty big role with El Salvador pretty quickly. Has his putting them all over the field. He's doing a lot. Like it's his kind of.
Yeah, Eric Zavaletta's the captain. Ari, I mean, Hugo, who I played with for years down in San Diego, good guy, good coach. Obviously, has been able to change the fortunes of El Salvador. So kudos to him.
With the health of both your first team and Defiance, there were some healthy scratches last night, but you still got them first team practices here. What's it like to give Alec Diaz, Christian Herrera, and Arlen Vargas, Issa Rayan some time with the first team to just kind of refine who they are as players and people?
I think Wade's doing a great job with Defiance. He's got hard choices to make, Dave. I mean, he's trying to rotate guys in, who's on the bench, who's actually starting. Then I compound that problem by telling him I need Josh and Danny to play minutes. And then there's leftovers. The leftovers come here to me. It's all working together. We're trying to work together to make sure that everybody gets taken care of. We need training numbers. When I give players to get minutes down there, we have to take some back because we need the training numbers. That little training session there for Alec Diaz is a great training session for a forward, what we did today. Everything's small-sided, the 2v1s, 3v2s, and it's a perfect day for Alec Diaz.
And then seeing, we talked about it a little bit, seeing the second side, Tacoma, in not just a playoff position, but a strong one. What's that like for the organization and kind of the youth, seeing you able to see that the youth aren't just developing themselves, but they're developing as a team?
I think that's due to the great commentary that we get at every Defiance game. I think that has something to do with the karma of the group. You have that message, you have Wade's message, you have our overall message at this club that winning is important. And I'm happy to see it go down into Defiance, down to the academy. The academy's already had some success over the years. It's just, again, it's kudos to Mikey Morris and Wade for the job they've done there at Defiance. That's who deserves the credit there.